We are live.
Welcome to the Kame and Ahame Send 'em Home to Mommy show. If you were looking for that show, wrong. Because this is the Big Fat Dubs.
Welcome, everybody. Back. We are back. We're actually doing this early this week instead of waiting until like the last day to actually do it. Jamalong Ding Dong. Thank you there, Huff and Haddock. Give us some shout outs out for us.
Are you trying? Is this your audition for the WWE? Hey, you're trying to talk. You're talking like this. Like you're cutting a promo on Roman Reigns.
I mean, I could try to go like all Paul Heyman here with Roman Reigns. I could try to do that. Probably the best I could do.
No, don't even try.
Okay, because it might turn out to be like a Jamie Noble thing.
I mean, like Lana, Rusev situation.
I can just go around, and say, sheesh.
Sheesh.
Everybody shut up right now. Oh, the man is cooking.
The man.
It's the man.
Welcome to Fight Night.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Getting away from WWE as we do a show later on about WWE, we're going to get into our football. We have a lot to talk about this week, actually. It was kind of a crazy week with some big upsets of the week. We have some key injuries going into the playoffs coming up soon as the season has about 3 weeks left in the year. We're going to talk about how everything's going to fold. We're going to talk about how everything is going to pan out, our kind of predictions there, how these injuries that have occurred is how it's going to affect these teams. And we'll obviously do our predictions as well. We're going to be kind of quick on the recap here, just so we can kind of move along to the new topics and everything like that. So it's kind of wonky. I don't know why this is set up this way, but we're not going to do the first game on the screen. That was today's game, but we're going to go with the Thursday Night Football game. The Rams coming back to beat the Raiders. Baker Mayfield making his debut as a Los Angeles Ram, leading to a victory. Was not an impressive game, to be honest, by both teams. It really shows how bad both of them are. And, I mean, great job for Baker to get the win. That's a boost for him. But overall, this wasn't a very satisfying game.
48 hours he had only been with the team. 48 hours.
And they beat the damn Raiders.
They probably just went over to the sideline real quick. All right. Just do this play, Baker. Got it? All right, good. Go throw it to him when he goes down the sideline. Okay.
Pretty much.
I mean, honestly, I don't think, when it comes to playbooks like that kind of stuff, it's not too hard to always learn. But, I mean, he's probably seen plays like this before, but...
Well, the thing is an NFL playbook is like this big. And when you're a quarterback, it's this big. And you have to learn everything. So, good on Baker. Getting the win and everything like that. Good on the Rams. Raiders, step it up. All right, we're going to get to the next game. We're going to go to the Bills beating the Jets sucks ass Jets.
Jets.
I can't wait for the first one I see you live. I'm gonna yell. Jets suck so bad. If you see a fight break out between New York fans and Seattle fans during that game, probably not gonna be me.
Probably not gonna be you. Great win by the Bills. Good comeback for them. Definitely needed this one. This is actually one we were talking about earlier when it comes to injuries, about Mike White here. See how he is and how this is going to affect them. I've already put Wilson on the bench. So
this is also a big one too, because the Bills maintain that number one seed in the AFC. Really key, seeing they can hold on to it and make playoffs come through Buffalo.
Bills must keep winning in order to keep that number one seed, because Kansas City is right there on their heels.
Yeah. Going to the next game, we're going to go to the Bengals beating the Browns. Is anyone surprised about this? No.
Deshaun Watson still sucks.
He still sucks. The Browns still suck. Bengals are on a roll. Watch out for them coming into the playoffs.
Jamar Chase is getting hot since he's come back from injury.
Yep, Joe Burrow is kind of turning his season around and everything like that. So, great win by the Bengals. It's funny. I will say this about the Bengals. It's really funny how I really want to figure out who started it. Was it the Who Dat Nation for the Saints, or was it the Houday Nation for the Bengals?
I have no idea.
It's literally the same damn thing.
I feel like the Houdat was first though before the.
Well, we knew about the Houdat first, but then maybe Houday was like around all the time, just no one gave a shit.
Yeah, it just wasn't as big.
Well, because back then the Bengals sucked. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So we'll see. That's something. If you know about that in the comments, please let us know.
Yes.
So great win by the Bengals there and Joe Burrows. Going to the next game, we have the Battle of Texas, where the Cowboys, how about them boys,
barely escaped
the 1-11-1 Houston Texans.
Texans were actually this close, about a yard close, of actually getting a touchdown to put them up by 2 scores. Put this game away.
Exactly.
But nope, they couldn't get it on 4th down, turned it over.
Cowboys really coming out on top, really stepping their game up. Dak's got to really step up this year. To be honest, comparative to, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the difference between Dallas and some other teams is defense is amazing. The running backs are great. They have talented receivers. Their quarterback play is inconsistent, and Dak needs to step it up because the defense can't bail him out. You know how I know that? Russell Wilson, baby, in the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh.
So, anything else on that? Kind of the Battle of Texas?
Nothing I can think of, though, but yeah.
So this will be the first.
That's all I gotta say about that.
So this will be the first of a few upsets we've seen. Going to the next game, we have the Detroit Lions, the fired up and on a roll Detroit Lions, versus one of the top teams in the NFC and in the NFL, the Vikings, winning 34-23. Really, the Detroit Lions have been turning around this season, and they're playing fired up and everything like that. We had another great game by Justin Jefferson.
223 fucking receiving yards?
Yeah.
Holy, and no touchdown?
Yeah, how do you think I feel? He's on my fantasy team.
Dude, how does that boy ball out like that and don't get no TDs?
Because the Lions stepped it up.
Lions are on freaking fire right now.
They
are trying to get that playoff spot.
Yeah, we'll talk about that we'll talk about that when we get to the standings. I have some. Yeah, that's something that we'll talk about, everything like that, and the predictions of the Detroit Lions and if they can make it or not.
Next up,
we have another upset. The Jaguars whooping on them Titans. I guess they remembered who the Titans were, and Trevor Lawrence said, "Don't care." Trevor Lawrence was probably the best game of the year, with a 368-yard performance, 3 touchdowns for him. Evan Ingram had a game, 11 receptions, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
By the way, Jones, great snag there in the end zone.
Yeah.
The toe just barely inside for that touchdown.
And this is another team, too, that's actually kind of stepped up in the last few weeks and actually been performing well. So the one thing about the Jaguars, they always have the potential. They just need to be more consistent. Titans, you might want to be careful. Your division's not on lock, so you guys might want to turn it up a little bit.
Right now, Titans, I'm not believing in you right now in the playoffs. Right now, you are showing me, like, right now, if you do make it, you're out the first round.
Honestly, though, what I think about this quick little thing is I think we are seeing the end of Tannehill's reign as its quarterback.
I think so. I think we're going to see Malik come in here.
Malik Willis.
Or, excuse me. I always think it's Malik. I don't know why, because of the way it's spelled.
Yeah.
But Malik, I think you're definitely going to see him as your number 1 next year.
Either next
Tannehill,
year.
This is going to be
either starting next year or like halfway next year. I think it's going to turn around.
Plus, they also need to get Tennessee some wide receiver weapons as well.
Yeah. So, it's still dumb that they got rid of A.J. Brown, because literally now it's all about Derrick Henry, and he can't do everything for you.
Yeah.
Next matchup, we have the best team in the NFL right now, the Eagles, whooping on the Giants. There's not much to say about this except for, you know what? The Eagles, I'm going to say this right now, Eagles. You better not let all your Eagle fans down. You better not let the city of Philadelphia down. All right? Because first of all, y'all lost the World Series. Y'all lost the MLS Cup. You lose the Super Bowl, I think that city burns down, especially the performance that you guys have been playing this year.
At least you don't have your basketball team to, worry about, so.
Well, they suck anyway.
Exactly. So. That's what I'm saying.
They're terrible.
They're not getting their hopes up.
Yeah, they're terrible at that. But a great win by the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Honestly, this is a sleeper for that MVP, and honestly, it should be more consideration based on the fact that they're 12-1. He's performing very well. obviously we've talked about this that the number one guy is probably Patrick Mahomes, but you can't really sleep on. I think Jalen Hurts is number two. You have to based on the performance that he's had all year. He's only had one bad game,
Definitely, yeah, definitely Mahomes number one. I would put Hurts actually above Allen. I'd probably move Allen down to 3 now, maybe 4, but definitely Hurts is that top 2.
Especially in the sense that of the way Allen's played the last few weeks and the inconsistent play, the starting up fired up, and then fumbles,
but now he's been
interceptions.
Yeah. And since then, these last 3 games, he's played a little bit more conservative now. He's not, like we talked about this yesterday, is that he's, not trying to ball out so much now. And when he's done that, he's actually been hitting his wide receivers more, getting those actually nice, easier touchdowns and trying to force stuff. But yeah, I have said, Hurts is going to get hurt. Hurts is actually doing good. He's actually doing very good. He's playing smart. So can they keep going? Also, Sanders, great job on you this week. You have actually been doing pretty good, doing really good here this season. I wish I would have started you over Mixon now. Son of a bitch, 46 points.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have picked. When I had a chance, I picked Kenneth Walker over Josh Jacobs. I really should have stuck with Jacobs, to be honest. He's having a hell of a year. All right, next game we have a classic rivalry: the Baltimore Ravens with no Lamar Jackson, mind you, versus the Steelers with no quarterback. Because let's face it, their quarterbacks are garbage.
I mean, come on. He had to bring in Mitch Trubisky's here.
Well, it sounds like here Pickett got hurt. I don't know if Staley injury will go on about that. Dobbins with a nice game. I think you said the Ravens quarterback also got hurt. Huntley, did he get hurt as well?
Yes. I believe, Huntley got hurt as well, so they had to go up to the third string as well. Ravens, unfortunately, again, those quarterback was a... One thing, actually, I did not realize, and I kind of think about it, unless you can correct me, John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin are the 2 longest rivalry coaches in the NFL right now.
Yes. If you're talking rivalry standpoint, yes.
Yes.
If you're talking longevity, no.
I'm talking about head coaches that have gone most head-to-head.
Oh, yeah, it's Harbaugh and Tomlin. I think, actually, we looked it up. The longest reigning coaches right now have been Belichick.
Belichick and Carroll, I know you're top 2.
No. Andy Reid. Andy Reid's been a long... consistently in the NFL, Andy Reid's been way longer than Carroll.
If you take out Carroll's college years, then yes.
Yeah. You have to play that in consideration.
Yes, you do have to put that in consideration. If you're talking about straight, yes, coaching years, then yes. Anyway.
So, hold on a second. I gotta step up real quick.
I'll continue on then.
No, you ain't doing that next game without me.
You
ain't doing the next couple.
Okay, you and your Patty Mahomes.
Yeah. Oh, no. There's a reason about that.
Oh,
there's a reason about that.
I see why he wants to talk about this next game.
Talk about the Seahawks Carolina.
There's a certain player on this team here that
talk
he
about
wants
the Seattle Carolina.
No, I'm going to keep this hot. I'm going to keep this.
Oh.
You know what? I will. I'll go ahead and talk about the Panthers and the Seahawks. All right, we're going to jump a couple of games because Ryan here, he really wants to talk about that Chiefs-Denver game, and you can only guess why. But we are going to get into a very, very disappointing game. I'm sorry. This was a very poor game by the Seattle Seahawks. Even though they tried to come back, overall on both sides, it was a shit show. Panthers looking like a team that has been hot here recently. Made them look too damn good. Putting up 10 points almost every quarter except for the third. It was bad to watch. Hubbard there having a great runs and all that. It was not good. Even though Seattle's top 3 wide receivers, as in DK, Lockett, and Goodwin, all having great game. But unfortunately, we could not get the running game going. That Panthers defense held it up big time. And Gino tried to turn around for us. The defense even tried to step up, but unfortunately, it was just too late. The damage had already been done. And unfortunately, with Gino also throwing 3 picks in this game as well, did not help, even though I do not consider one of them to be a pick, but they gave it to him anyways. But what happens. This really hurts the Seattle Seahawks' chances playoffs here, so they really need to bounce back. And he's back.
Yeah, one thing about the Carolina Seattle game, Sam Darnold's kind of turning around for him. We'll see, because again, that NFC South is actually wide open, so you never know what's going on. So which one should we talk about first?
Oh no, I'm waiting for you this one. I was waiting for this one. You ran away. I want to hear it. I want to hear
Listen, I gotta
it.
go to the bathroom, all right?
That's fine. That's what I'm saying. I want to hear it now that you're back.
You know, I didn't want to fart on camera, okay?
That's why I figured you read.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the Chiefs versus the Broncos, the matchup that we kind of thought. The Broncos coming back. Obviously, again, I want to talk about how good their defense is, keeping in line the Chiefs to make that comeback and everything like that. Patrick Mahomes balled out, but he did also throw 3 picks, which did hurt him a little bit. McKinnon had a great receiving game and everything like that. But we're going to talk about how thank you, Denver Broncos, for right now. Seattle sitting at the number 2 pick in next year's draft. Probably going to be that way.
I heard that pop.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to talk about like how you never wish injury on anybody. You never want to wish injuries on anybody. And I know I've been hard on this guy all year. I don't wish his injury. I don't wish that upon anybody. He did take a nasty, smack to the head and everything like that. Not by a player. It was actually the ground. He has a nice lump. Probably out this year.
Right.
Probably out this week with a concussion. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they shut him down for longer because of the fact that you really have nothing to lose for it and everything like that.
And technically, if this will be his first concussion.
Yep.
Major concussion.
Which you really got to be careful about that. But that doesn't change the fact that we going to say it. Russell Wilson, fuck you.
I'm sorry, what I just heard on the TV. You know what you're gonna say?
Yeah, we got Monday Night Raw playing in the background.
If you actually watch that play and you watch where the camera zooms in on Wilson right there, you can just tell he is just glazed right now. He's just like he does not know where he is. You can see the eyes just like
he's dazed.
He's dazed.
His pupils are up. He's completely
and then when he goes to get up, he's even wild. And I was like, oh shit.
That's why I'm thinking that it would be smart for Denver. Sit him out the rest of the year. You paid that money for a quarterback. You don't want to get involved like what Miami did to Tua. Don't get him in too early. Let him sit. If it's a few weeks, if it's the rest of the year, do it.
I mean, you just got eliminated anyways from the playoffs, so you have nothing to lose if Russell Wilson doesn't play for the rest of the year anyways. I mean, yeah, or play for a higher draft.
Actually, you might be better. You probably will be better.
You might know, yeah. Whoever the backup is there. God, who was that backup?
Rippon. It was Brett Rippon.
Rippon?
Yep.
Rippon?
Yeah. But still, that doesn't change the fact. Russell Wilson, never wish injury upon you, my man. That still doesn't change the fact that we still going to say Russell Wilson, fuck you.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. You hear it every week. So
don't worry, we're not going to merch that. I'm not merching that.
All right.
I don't need Russell Wilson's lawyers to come after me.
Up next, we have the Buccaneers at the 49ers. And
this was actually a surprise. This was actually a surprise game. What a piss-poor performance by the Buccaneers. And even with Brock Purdy, third-string quarterback for the Niners, proves once again that I've been saying for a while, ever since this came. You can ask Kelly. We talked about where's Christian McCaffrey going. He said the Bills.
The Bills.
I said it from day one. He going to the Niners. That's the best team for him. And look what's happened. Got him. Balling. Boom.
There was a high chance he was going to go to the Rams, too.
Yeah, that was never going to happen.
But, goddamn, glad that didn't happen.
This is the best move for Christian McCaffrey going to San Francisco. They played amazing. It shows that their offense is explosive. Again, another big-time injury, having Deebo Samuel out with a high ankle sprain. He will be out the rest of the regular season. Hopefully they can maintain a high speed and everything like that. Get him back for the playoffs and everything.
That's a smart move.
It is.
It is.
Especially when you also have Brandon Ayuk, you have Christian McCaffrey, you have George Kittle, you have weapons around you. Let him sit. Yep. They really got to stop utilizing Deebo as a running back since you have Christian McCaffrey now.
Exactly.
You got to start using him more as that receiver again. You got to stop with the overworking Deebo and everything like that. But going back to the game, great game by Brock Purdy.
First rookie to start a game and beat Tom Brady.
Exactly, for his first NFL start. really the Buccaneers, you really got to find out your identity and find out something soon because you have teams like Carolina that's on the rise. They're only a game back from you. They could take the division from you. And for me, I think if we're talking the NFC, and we'll talk about this in the standings and like that, I think the Niners have proven that they are the second best, if not the best team. I think if Garoppolo was healthy, I consider them the best because their defense is absolutely amazing.
Obviously, like 49ers right now, I believe they're the number 3 seed right now in the NFC.
Yes.
But they could get up to that second seed right now if Minnesota decides to crumble a little bit here going to the end.
Well, I mean, those seeding, is based on the wins records and everything like that. Looking at the top, we'll look at that when we get to the playoffs and like that. I think they are the second best team. I think they are the second best team.
Think overall talent-wise and everything, yes.
Overall talent-wise, they're number 1.
For the NFC.
For the NFC, they're number 1.
Okay.
You got guys like we said, McCaffrey, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, Juszczyk, you have Bosa, Fred Warner, freaking Ward. You have Armstead when he's healthy.
Yeah, the old kicker Robbie Gould.
Yeah, I mean, they're talented. So, going to the last game of the Sunday night, we have Sunday Night Football. Chargers versus the Dolphins. Great game by the Chargers. Actually needed this win to make that comeback and everything like that. Dolphins kind of falling apart there. Kind of what I thought. You're a little overrated.
Overrated.
Herbert having a great game. Again, he's throwing too much though. 51 attempts and everything like that. Mike Williams with a great
Eckler needs
game.
to get more carries. Eckler needs to get more than 15 carries.
Yep. So great win by them. Dolphins, you overrated. And we'll end this recap with the Monday Night Football game. We have the Patriots whooping the Cardinals. This was no surprise to anyone here.
It actually was not a very good game to watch. Obviously, we just watched this here tonight, but yeah, overall, it was actually not very fun to watch by either team. But Patriots ended up getting the better out of it, especially on the interceptions and the fumble recoveries.
Kyler Murray out with the serious injury, had to be carted off, so we'll see what happens there.
A non-touching injury.
Well, that's actually a worse sign. Because if it's a non-contact injury, that means that could be a tear.
I did actually not see that injury. I didn't get to see the first quarter when it happened. Only the beginning of the second quarter, so I don't know how that. I saw a picture of it. But,
I didn't see it. I just saw it carted off.
Also in this game too, a lot of players went down. As we get to the injury list, a lot of players on both teams here actually went down. So
yeah.
That is not looking good here for these teams already. I already know the Cardinals are going to make it to the playoffs, but it's really going to hurt the Patriots here too, because I believe some key players for them got injured in this game.
Yep. All right, so that was our recap for the week. We're going to go now into
talking about injuries.
We're going to go through very quickly. We're not going to go down every one of them, but kind of going by team, some key injuries and how that affects them. Mostly about the playoff teams. So we won't really get into too much depth here. Obviously, the Arizona Cardinals, we saw Kyler Murray go out. Byron Murphy Jr., which is a big hit for them. Zach Ertz, which is a top-tier, tight end for him.
He's been out, though. So.
Yeah. Going into the Atlanta Falcons, this was a big one here. Marcus Mariota out, possibly for the rest of the year with a knee injury.
Yep.
Now, as we saw, Desmond Ridder will be the new starting quarterback for the rest of the year. We have Kyle Pitts, their top tight end, probably weapon on the team.
Wait, what happened to him?
Knee injury. He has a knee injury.
I didn't even hear about that.
Yep. So this really hurts their chances as they continue to fight for that NFC South spot, which probably at this rate is going to be out of their hands and everything like that. We talk about the Baltimore Ravens here. Key ones, Lamar Jackson and Tyler Huntley. The biggest one is Lamar Jackson. And as Kelly pointed to, this really hurts not only the Ravens, but it hurts a lot of their players and a lot of fantasy football owners like him who has Mark Andrews. Because ain't Mark Andrews getting no damn football. So this is really big for them too, because obviously they're competing for a playoff spot, potentially even competing for that AFC North. I keep getting those mixed up, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, you're losing. First of all, you lose your top quarterback, your second quarterback. You already lost your top wide receivers.
Yep.
You lost one of your offensive linemen. I mean, that offense is just not looking great right now.
No. As we move to the Buffalo Bills, some key ones. Von Miller was just announced that he was out for the rest of the year with a surgery on his ACL. You have Micah Hyde out very early in the season, which doesn't hurt them too much because Greg Hamill has been back there playing very well. Another one that's kind of on the floating is Jordan Poyer, the other safety, who's been battling injuries, so kind of needing him to step up a little bit more. Getting into the Carolina Panthers, not really going to talk about a whole lot here because
Xavier Woods.
Yeah, not that one. Big one probably is DJ Moore, their top receiver. And unfortunately, PJ Walker, who was their initial starting quarterback. Obviously, though, not having, they're kind of on a tear, though, with Sam Darnold. We'll see how that plans out as well.
Well, I mean, they've been playing the quarterback roulette, too, the same as like Pittsburgh is.
Yeah.
So.
The Bears, well, you suck, so no one cares.
Done, gone, moving on.
Yep. We get into the Bengals, couple big ones. Trey Hendrickson, which is one of the top DNs here. Hayden Hurst and Tyler Bird.
Yeah, I heard that.
Higgins. So you're talking three big threats for Joe Burrow right here, and especially Tyler Boyd.
Just as you get Chase back, you lose Higgins.
Exactly, especially since you have these two guys right here, which when healthy, you have such a three-headed monster at receiver with those guys. Sounds like, though, day-to-day, so potentially they could be okay. Another one is Chidobe Awuzie. I love that name. Yep. Especially when you hear it matters like Chidobe Awuzie.
Awuzie.
That's so awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
Cleveland Browns, couple big ones here is we have Amari Cooper. Postig's on that team. I didn't realize that.
Yep, he got knocked out early.
So nothing really going on there. Cowboys, some big ones here is Trayvon Diggs, the top corner, one of the top defensive players that they have on that team. It looks like it's questionable. Just a little bit of thumb injury. Just wrap that shit up.
I mean, yeah. What'd you do? Hurt it on that almost interception you got
there? You're sucking on your thumb too much there? Come on. Fix your shit. We head to the Denver Broncos. Some key ones. Cortland Sutton here.
They had a lot.
Fuck you, Russ Wilson. That is a big one for them. Randy Gregory, Chase Edmonds. There was one more, too. Javonte Williams, thank you. Some really big ones there, which kind of hurt them because they relied a lot on the running game. They have been very cursed with the running backs as well as Seattle. Especially with the performance that their offense has performed. They need
exactly. And their defense has actually been falling really hard on them, too, after they've been really good, too.
Yeah. Going to the Detroit Lions, really nothing noticeable here.
Nothing that we can pick out.
Nothing that we can pick out. Going into the Green Bay Packers, one that I know is David Bakhtiari here. One of my favorite linemen. Also a beer chugging master. Love that man.
Savage would be the only one I would know about. He's been great in their backfield.
Yep. Going to the Houston Texans, no one cares. You're 1-11-1. Going into the Indianapolis Colts.
Ouch.
What?
Convenient out for Russell Wilson, in my own opinion.
Convenient out, yeah. Yeah. Bench is $250 million ass. All right, we go to the Indianapolis Colts here. A couple big ones. Shaquille Leonard, one of their top linebackers. Alec, really nothing else after that.
That's where you ended up? Wow. And
that's a tight end though. That's not Alec Ogletree, the linebacker.
I
misread that too.
Yeah,
I misread that.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I misread that and everything like that. So really, a big one is going to be Shaquille Leonard. Just a top page.
Neck injury. Yeah, that might be career too.
Yeah, that could be. Going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The only name that we know is Shaquille Griffin, former Seahawk. Really, not a whole lot of noticeable ones here. Going to the Kansas City Chiefs. This is where it kind of does. They had Kadarius Toney. Mecole Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Thank God I told you to get rid of them.
I did.
Listen to me, Kelly.
I got rid of him before he got injured, so.
When I tell you these things, I told you to get rid of him sooner. Couple big ones here. These are obviously threats that really help Patrick Mahomes, and they need more threats going into the playoffs. So it's off of Travis Kelce. Juju needs more kind of assistance as well, because if you kind of rely on him, he does not perform very well.
Well, he's been getting some help back there, especially with the running back McKinnon, and who's the other? One other guy that's really been stepping up too.
Yeah, I don't know their name.
I'll look it up too while you're done.
What? Set to undergo test on his injured pinky finger. You know what, Jacob? Sit out the rest of the year.
No, you better not be fucking doing it. You've been balling out for me in fantasy football.
That's really the big name for the Las Vegas Raiders is Josh Jacobs, but it sounds like it's a pinky injury. Probably nothing too serious, anything like that. Going into the Los Angeles Chargers, really big one here is you see three names right here. Go ahead.
Pacino.
Okay.
That was the other. That's running back. Well, with McKinnon, that's been doing really good. That's one. Okay. Anyway.
All right. Couple big ones, especially there's three of them on the defense right here. You have Sebastian Joseph Day, which is their top defensive tackle. Derwin James Jr., probably their best defensive player they have at safety. Joey Bosa, which has been injured for a while.
Or Joey.
Yep. Really nothing else there. They J.C. Jackson, their top-notch corner that suffered a kneecap injury. They have been lucky to get back their receivers, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, who are out majority of the year this year, which is kind of helping Herbert get better and everything like that. Going to Los Angeles Rams here, we have some big names. Aaron Donald, which is the heart and soul of the team. Matthew Stafford, who really, Matt's not having a great year. So, Allen Robinson II, they got him on a free agency deal this offseason, was to help them.
Cooper Kupp.
Biggest one here is Cooper Kupp, their top-notch player, probably the second best player outside of Aaron Donald. Really hurt them on the offensive end not having him. Jordan Fuller, I know he's a pretty decent player as well.
You can even see as we're scrolling down, it's like still there's so many Rams injury players.
Yeah,
it's not.
They're honestly having the worst Super Bowl hangover anyone's ever had. It's unfortunate, but again, it kind of plays in the factor of you put everything on the line for 1 year. You didn't quite think about the following year after that.
Tyreek Hill, really?
Miami Dolphins, we have Tyreek Hill, questionable, battling some ankle injury right there. We have
Byron Jones.
Right there. The couple key names right there. Going to the Minnesota Vikings, Harrison Smith, which is one of their defensive leaders right there.
Jordan Hicks
as well. Not a whole other lot after that. But again, what the problem with the Vikings is they need to just play. Kirk Cousins needs to play better. Going into the New England Patriots.
Now, this is the one I was talking about. Devontae Parker getting knocked out for one of their key guys. Because already Jacoby Myers was already out for this game.
As you see here, Jacoby Myers is on the list. We have Stevenson, their top running back. He's, was questionable and everything like that. So he's battling some stuff there. As Kelly said, Jacoby Myers, their top receiver.
Patriots are just another one team. They're just getting plagued by injuries. They have a good team. They're just, unfortunately, just can't keep guys healthy.
Probably the most injured-riddled team we've ever seen is the New Orleans Saints. Cameron Jordan, top defensive player here. Mark Ingram, which I didn't even know you were on the team anymore.
I thought you retired.
I thought you retired too. He had his MCL tear a few weeks back and everything like that. We have Pete Werner, who was coming around to being one of the top linebackers on the team. Marshawn Lattimore, their top range corner. Yeah, they're just, and of course,
you just come back and then you get hurt again.
I think we're starting to see the end of the career of Michael Thomas. He's not been healthy at all.
Right.
Going to the New York Giants here, we have Xavier McKinney, Leonard Williams. We have Adoree Jackson. We have
Sterling Shepard.
The one thing I'll say about the Giants is the one person I'm glad is not on this list that we've seen all his career, Saquon Barkley. So it's nice to see him not on this list.
Next week, Barkley out.
You're calling it. I want New York fans to go after you. All right, going to the shitbag New York Jets. I'm sorry, I don't care how the season's doing. We have Corey Davis, Mike White, a couple big names on the offense there. Brees Hall, who is actually having a great year until that unfortunate injury. Feel really bad for a kid like that. It's his rookie year, and just had a bad injury with the knee or the knee injury to take out the rest of the season.
Oh man, C.J. Gardner-Johnson for the Eagles.
Yeah,
oh,
we get to the Philadelphia Eagles. C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
That's huge.
That is huge right there. Robert Quinn, who they just picked up in a trade.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert, who it looks like Sierra was spotted working out on the side. So it sounds like he's maybe getting better, which Jalen Hurts will need going to the playoffs. Because unfortunately, the biggest thing is, again, we've talked about this, the Eagles have had a pretty easy schedule. Once they get there, teams like the Niners are going to really take it to them, and they need to step it up. Going to the Pittsburgh Steelers here, we have Kenny Pickett, which is a big name. Their young quarterback, rookie quarterback that was having a pretty decent year so far. Kind of turning around, out with concussion, probably out for at least a week or so. Do not do what the Dolphins did. Okay, do not bring him back. Going into probably the second most. What the hell? You just banged up a little bit.
Purdy's even on the list.
Going to the San Francisco 49ers, we have starting off Christian McCaffrey, who's just limited. Obviously, there's probably some soreness there. Eric Armstead, who hasn't really played all year. Brock Purdy, he's got some rib issues. Deebo Samuel, like we talked about, out with an ankle injury for the rest of the year. Going to the playoffs, we have big ones. Jimmy Garoppolo out. Potentially, he could come back for the playoffs. There is potential there, but we'll see there. Elijah Mitchell, their number one running back from a year ago. Trey Lance.
That's been a problem with San Francisco these last few years. They just can't keep a healthy running back.
No, they can barely keep a healthy team. To be honest, they can barely keep a healthy team.
Well, last year, when it was the defense that couldn't even stay healthy, and now this year, it's just the offense.
Well, then this will be the thing, is for the Niners, are these injuries going to play in a factor? It sounds like a couple of them are just soreness and everything like that, but,
like I said, I'm not too worried about Deebo out, even if they rest him like we were talking about earlier, because you have McCaffrey, and you have the other guys like Kittle and Ayuk, like we were talking about before.
Just do me a favor, San Francisco. Go out and trade for a backup quarterback by the name of Gardner Minshew, baby. I will root for that every damn day. All right, going to our team, the Seattle Seahawks. Here are some big names. Ryan Neal, who was the starting safety that was in for Jamal Adams. We have Kenneth Walker, who was out this game with an ankle injury. Shelby Harris, Al Woods, two of our big name defensive tackles who are playing very well. Again, running back woes, Rashad Penny. Honestly, Penny, you had such a great end of the year last year, and now you got injured again. You really had Seattle fans on the high hopes, and you really...
This is why I still don't, even right now, even though you were doing great, I don't know why we re-signed you to that contract.
Yeah. So as you see, we have DJ Dallas, Kenneth Walker, and Rashad Penny out. That's three running backs, which leaves Travis Homer and a couple guys from the practice squad there. We have D. Eskridge, which is probably our fourth best receiver at the time. Jamal Adams out from the game one. Couldn't sack Russell Wilson, so he went out with an injury. Dick. Going into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we have Antoine Winfield Jr.
Sean Muffy Burton.
Oh my God, I haven't heard that name since the fucking playoffs, man. God, we watched the Saints Buccaneirets game, and all they talked about was Murphy Button. It's like, God dang. We had Vita Vea, Shaquille Barrett,
that was a big
Ryan Jensen. The biggest thing for the Buccaneers has been their offensive line woes, especially Ryan Jensen, who's their starting center, out early on in the year. It's very unfortunate, but that's part of the woes that we see with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Going to the Tennessee Titans, really...
David Long Jr.
That
hurt them. That is the captain.
Harold Landry was a big name right there.
Is that Cunningham, another one too that they
Taylor
lost?
Lewan, their star running back here. Or not running back, offensive lineman here. Hey, shut up. Shut up. So they lost some key players. And again, though, it's just proving that they're
defense. If you look at it,
it's mostly defense, and it just kind of hurts their chances going into the year. We have the Washington Commanders with the big one being Chase Young, which really have not had a great comeback after his rookie year.
No.
Montez Sweat, a big name here. Cole Holcomb, who is a top tier linebacker. J.D. McKissick here.
Amari Rogers, two good ones.
So a couple offensive players. Those are some
Hodges, the other guy who's been.
So going through every team there, I think that we talked about this. You know, whose injury do you think plays the? Whose injuries go through not every team, but of all the teams we went through and all the key names, what injury affects their team the most?
Is that every team?
That was every team.
You sure?
Yeah.
Washington was the last one. Oh, right, you were right. I'm sorry.
I will say this.
I definitely would say Deebo Samuel.
My pick is the Niners injuries.
Yeah,
it will play in a big factor because,
especially because we have this. They have this Thursday night game coming up against Seattle.
Yeah,
I mean that's a big one. But you're also looking at Seattle too, who have been lacking running backs now. Obviously, we couldn't get the running game going with Homer and Jones, and it's really showing now without having Dallas and Walker.
Yep.
In this, but like I said, Deebo is obviously the big one for the Niners, but I'm not too worried about the Niners.
I am worried about the Niners a little bit because it's injuries and everything like that. Obviously, with Garoppolo out, Trey Lance out, you have Purdy now that's resting. You have Deebo Samuel. You have McCaffrey. There's a lot of question marks on that. I think the other big one, especially coming in close to the playoffs and everything like that, is, I have to say it, is going to be the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson. That plays in such a huge role.
Yep.
Only because now this is a big one here because their whole team revolved around Lamar. He was their offense. He got everyone better. So now you kind of have to change everything, and that could hurt you in the long run for playoffs because they might not even make the playoffs.
Yeah, especially like said Huntley too, out now, and he actually plays like Lamar too.
Yeah,
which was actually a really good thing for how as your backup quarterback, who's like really similar to your starting quarterback. But yeah, now that you're down to your third string quarterback now, Baltimore, you might be in trouble here.
Yeah,
but they might bounce back. Who knows? Actually, another team that you would be the Bengals would be my other one. With, like you said, Higgins and Hurst out, two big weapons there.
Having the inconsistency at your triple-headed receivers is very big.
Lloyd as well, who's been up and down.
So,
otherwise than that, I mean Diggs, they're on Dallas, but I mean if it's just a thumb, I think he'll be all right.
Yeah. So we both agreed the Niners, the Ravens, and the Bengals have the most, what we think are the most key injuries and the ones that we are issuing on if it's going to be a problem.
If it's going to become a factor here down the road coming to the playoffs.
Yeah. Going into now, we're going to break down the playoffs. So now we're not going to break down by conference or anything like that. As we get the playoffs, this should be where we're at right now. So looking at the AFC.
So this is the seeds here, guys.
Yep.
These are right now.
So obviously the top four teams, obviously that the wild card teams might be better than the division team, but the division leaders will always be the top four teams. We sit now with Buffalo at the number one seed, Kansas City, Baltimore, Tennessee, with the Bengals, Dolphins, and the Patriots in line for the wild card spots. Close behind them though are the Chargers and the Jets, all tied with the New England Patriots, and kind of creeping up a little bit. We still have a couple games back, but we have the Jaguars and the Raiders. Of the AFC, do you think there's changes? Do you think a team will slip out where another team slips in? Do you think we'll see a little different in who the seeds are by chance? What are your thoughts? Talk to me. I'm giving you the floor, okay? I'm giving you the time, Max Kellerman. All right? I'm giving you the time.
I think the only one that the only seeds that we really need to look at right now are the 4th and 6th and 7th seeds. I think the other ones are pretty much locked in right now where they're going to be. I think they're fine. Buffalo and Kansas City might flip flop. I think they're they're going to be like they have for the last 3 years, 1 and 2 seeds. So I think they're going to be the same. Baltimore, I think, is actually going to be fine with where they're at. They might, however, I forget who's all in that conference, if there's anybody even close to them right now. But
this one right here.
I was actually going to say, isn't it Cincy in that one?
Yep.
So they are actually tied. But I guess Baltimore won earlier in the season, so I guess that's why they're number one. Yeah, they're 3-0. No, 6 and
no
3-0.
Division
3-0
division. Yeah,
so they've actually beat all three, but they still probably have coming down the line here.
Yep.
So honestly, yeah, you're looking at the threat of Cincy and Baltimore. So I could actually probably see Cincy actually taking that over if Lamar or Huntley does not get back in. I can see that. And like we were saying, Tennessee, if you don't get your shit together right now, you're probably going to lose out in your spot, and you're going to drop down to that 6 and 7 seed.
No, actually, I don't think so, because problem is that they'll always be the number 4 seed unless the only team that will surpass them is this team.
Exactly, that's what I was saying. If they don't get their shit together,
I think I think they'll hold on to it because I don't have faith in the Jaguars.
I'm really hoping that the Chargers can slip in there.
I'm hoping the Chargers slip past the Patriots. I think the Chargers are more deserving than the Patriots. I think, though, 1 through 6, I don't think those teams will change. I do think Baltimore loses out to Cincinnati. I do think in long run, Kansas City takes back the number 1 seed over Buffalo. Only because consistency-wise, yeah, they're both 10-3, but play-wise, I don't feel as confident on Josh Allen's play than I do Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen's kind of given up a lot of big plays to keep teams in line, if not also cost them the game. Going back to the Minnesota game, when he fumbled the snap on the goal line and Minnesota recovered it for a touchdown. Like, plays like that hurt Allen's chances.
So we don't know if this is actually just Allen or this is the coaching staff changing the plays for Allen to be more conservative now.
Yep.
So it also depends, what's going to happen here down the long run here. How bad does Buffalo want, that number 1 seed going into the playoffs? So what kind of Josh Allen do they want? Do they want to unleash him, or do they want to kind of hold him back? So I think that's something we are kind of going to see here.
The dark horse, though, is the way that they're playing lately. I think Cincinnati is the best chance to knock both these teams out.
Oh, Cincinnati just caught fire right now.
Yeah. But here's the deal. For those 3 teams, so I think the top 3 teams are Buffalo, Kansas City, and Cincinnati. I think all 3 teams have to have the purpose of, we need the playoffs to come through us.
Yes.
Buffalo, because the weather is going to play in a big factor come January and everything like that. You have Kansas City, which is the loudest stadium in the NFL. Big time fan base. And then Cincinnati, because of the fact that they're having more, their fan base and their stadium is becoming
and you gotta remember, they were in the Super Bowl last year.
Exactly. So. But their fans, it's a different atmosphere now. It's electric. It's like Kansas City. My foot's right there.
I'm not running over. Okay.
It's a different atmosphere and everything like that. So I think a dark horse team to take the number 1 seed is Cincinnati. But I think we're looking at Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati. I think at the end, it will go Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincy, Tennessee. I think Miami takes the 5th seed. I go Baltimore at 6 because we might get Lamar Jackson back soon. And I'm going to say the Chargers take the final spots. I
know that they showed the Jets right there. I'm going to say yes. Jets, you're having a good season, but I don't think you're going to be playoff worthy.
Not this year. Maybe next year.
Next year, I think yes, but this year, no. If you get in, holy shit. You won't probably get through the first round, though.
Here's my thing, though, with the Jets, and I'm going to say this. You have to make the decision on Zach Wilson. You have to make the decision on Mike White. I think White is the better quarterback than Wilson. Overall, I think Wilson's a piece of shit. Maybe I just hate the name Wilson.
I was going to say, you're just getting on this Wilson hate run now.
I don't give a shit. They all suck.
But but you got to look out, too, like you just said, Wilson, if he's not all that great, but then White, who's battling the rib injuries now, and just That's why he got knocked out literally 3 times in this game.
But honestly,
So-
too, like White's a better quarterback. He's a better leader, better quarterback. Unfortunately, here I don't think it's time for the Jaguars. I really don't think it's time for the
No.
Raiders.
No.
On a good, they were on a tear, but they started. The loss. They needed to beat the Rams. That was a winnable game for them, and they fell apart. I don't think any. I think we'll soon see these three teams get knocked out, and Houston and Denver, fuck you.
Exactly.
Going into the NFC now, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. We have the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously the number one team. I don't think that's going to change. We have the Minnesota Vikings, San Francisco 49ers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have the Dallas Cowboys, the Washington Commanders. And rounding out the playoff spot is the New York Giants at the 7th seed. With outside is Seattle Seahawks, Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Atlanta, somehow the Cardinals, New Orleans, Los Angeles, and then the Bears eliminated. So, same question. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the playoff spots right now?
So almost the same thing. I think Eagles, yes, they are going to have that number one spot. I actually think San Francisco and Minnesota are actually going to flip there. I'm not having, like you said, the confidence in Minnesota right now. Even though they are 10-3, they're kind of slipping up right now. So I think San Francisco will take advantage of that. But also you have the Cowboys, which are really pretty hot right now too. Even though they almost lost a close game to one of the second worst team in the, the worst team in the league. I see that second spot definitely either Dallas or Minnesota.
They will never be this. They'll never be higher than.
But no,
they can't be number.
Oh, that's right, because the Eagles,
yeah, because these are division. These are division.
Exactly, yeah,
realistically, in every other sports though, they should be the number 2 team.
Yes,
this is the only sport of the three major sports that they base all the winners of the divisions above wild card teams.
Because if you actually look right now, you have actually the whole NFC East in the playoff picture right now.
Yep,
which is surprising because they used to be one of the worst teams, and only like the Eagles.
Well, at the beginning of the year too, we never thought that. Beginning of the year,
we thought the Commanders are going to be shit.
That should have been what the NFC East is doing is what the AFC West was supposed to be.
Yes,
that was them.
That's what it was supposed to be. But
it was supposed to be. Now it's the NFC East. I agree with you. I think we're going to see a flip here because overall, I think this is the second best team.
Yes, like we were talking about earlier.
I think this is the second best team. I think, though, and the only reason I give Philadelphia over them is not based on their record or anything like that. It's because I would take Jalen Hurts over Brock Purdy. But if it was Garoppolo, I might say this is the best team in the NFC.
Oh, yeah.
They have everything going for them.
If Garoppolo is able to make it back for the first round of playoffs and he's good, definitely.
The hard part for me is I really want to see Seattle and Detroit slip in. I don't know, though. The only team I can think of can come out is the Giants.
No, I actually think Seattle and Detroit could actually take these two away.
You think we'll see a flop here?
I think we'll see a flop.
I agree with you on the Giants.
Only because I'm riding the Detroit hot streak right now. That's what
I was going to say. The only thing I could see happening is they fall and they go.
Yeah.
Seattle has not been.
I'm sorry. Right now, Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. This is crunch time for you guys.
It is.
This is crunch time. You guys have not been great these last few years. This is your chance to actually get back into playoffs, help this team out. So either you got to play big. Right now, you got Seattle and Detroit fighting hard to get that playoff spot right now.
Here's the problem,
they both all had games where they should have won. Detroit's losses here have not been blowout losses. They've been close games that they've lost.
And their losses were also early in the season. I'll say this, though. This is why I don't have confidence in Seattle making it. Is ever since Germany, it's ever since the Tampa Bay game, they have not played the same as they were before. Ever since they went to Germany, they've fallen apart. Because you got to remember, they were, 6-3 going into that game?
I think so, because, we lost to the Raiders, and we lost Carolina here.
Carolina. We also lost to the Buccaneers. We beat the Rams.
Yep, we beat the Rams. We needed to. That was what we did last week.
I think there was another game. Was
it the Saints?
Anyways, we'll look that up later.
Oh.
But I don't see the only other difference I see is I see this team dropping out.
Yeah,
inconsistent play by the Buccaneers. I wouldn't be surprised if they win it because they have compared to these two teams, this team is too injured prone right now.
Yep.
This team's fired up, but how far can that Sam Darnold flame last? Tampa Bay is the only other team I can see knocked out. I think, based on my prediction, it will go Philadelphia, San Francisco, Minnesota, Tampa Bay. Dallas is not going anywhere from that 5th seed. They're not. They should be the number 2 or 3 seed, but really they got to be number 5.
Right.
I'm going to say Washington stays. I think it will be Detroit Lions. I like them more than the Hawks because of the way that they're playing. And actually, did Seattle? Oh, Seattle did play Detroit. They beat them, but they didn't have Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Correct.
So
we barely won that game.
They're just fired up, and they're more explosive than that. I think what hurts them, we can't stop the run to save our life. Oh, you know what? It was the Raiders game I was thinking of. They lost to the Raiders.
I said we lost to the Raiders.
Did you? I didn't hear it.
Okay. You might have thought Rams maybe, but
yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
The injuries here out, is going to play a factor with this coming up.
I mean, it's really you're looking at the running back injuries. But yeah, overall, offensive wise, you're looking at Detroit being better because of the lack of running backs right now Seattle has. Even though we have the explosive wide receivers, we have good 3-4 tight ends.
But their defense has played a lot better than Seattle's, though.
Yeah, Seattle's defense is also getting a little bit banged up as well, too. So
yeah, because here's the problem: we're not putting any pressure on quarterbacks.
I would not be surprised, if there is a flip flop going down.
I'm really hoping Seattle makes it and everything like that. But then again, here's the thing: I'm not going to be disappointed because again, we're supposed to be where this team is. This team is supposed to be where this team is. But they're not.
I mean,
Seattle is supposed to be where this team is.
I would say we would be actually more like where the Carolina Panthers are mostly.
Well, no, talking about what analysts were saying before the year.
Yeah.
Before the year started, this team was supposed to be this record. This team was supposed to be this record.
I mean, we were only projected to win like 5 or 6 games.
At most 5. Like, there are a lot of people thought we were only going to have 2 wins.
And it was a little because of the quarterback situation.
Yep. So those are predictions for the conferences and everything like that. Let us know what you guys think on that. Do you have anything on the playoffs and everything like that?
Not really. I mean, like I said, each week here we're going to take a closer and closer look because like now this is crunch time. This is their chance. This is a chance for these teams to punch their ticket to the playoffs. So you're going to start seeing some really tough football going forward here these next few weeks.
That being said, there better be some fisticuffs.
Yeah, I want to get that in hockey.
All right.
Actually, I would not be surprised if we see a Thursday night game here.
You're on the last.
Oh, it's because it hasn't moved to the next day yet.
Yeah. All right. So now we're getting into our predictions. Let us know what you guys' predictions are. We are going to start off with Thursday night football. We have the Niners versus the Seahawks.
Seahawks, I love you guys very much and all that, but I have to give the edge to the San Francisco Niners.
I have to go with the Niners as well. The biggest factor is that defense is going to be too good.
I mean, if we do win, thank you. It's just a luck. It would just be a luck thing.
Here's the thing, though. I still love Tyler Lockett. I still love DK Metcalf. But their team is so...
Oh, yeah.
Here's the problem we run into. Bosa and them boys on the line are going to tear up our offensive line.
Well, the 2 rookies.
Bosa is going to have a day. All right, but Seattle... Prove us wrong. That's my goal. That's my challenge to you is prove us wrong.
Also, this week into the week, too, for the Saturday games, as you can see.
Yep.
Because college football games haven't gone to full gear yet.
Well, we're going to the bowl games here soon. We're going to start off with Indianapolis at Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I am going to also go with Minnesota. We have next Baltimore at Cleveland.
All because of the quarterback situation with Baltimore.
Stand by your decision, baby.
What's your decision?
I'm letting you go first.
You let me go. I don't even know who the third string quarterback is for. They just won a very close game, but you know I can't do it because Cleveland and fucking John Watson. I gotta go Baltimore.
I will actually go Cleveland. I will go opposite of this one.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
I will go Cleveland on this one. I'm probably going to be wrong, but let's just go Cleveland.
Game.
We have
no game.
5-year-old over here. We have Miami Dolphins going to Buffalo.
Buffalo. I gotta sleep with my Bills.
I'm going to go with the Bills, but y'all better step it up because Miami's got your number right now. We have, why are we even bothering game? Philadelphia at Chicago. Come on, it's the Eagles.
Ah, Eagles fly.
We have Atlanta at New Orleans. I'm going to go with the Saints.
I kind of gotta go too because, yeah, they just benched Mariota.
Well, he's injured. That's why he's going to be injured.
That's why he's on the bench.
Yep. We have next Detroit at the Jets. Give me Detroit.
I gotta go with Detroit. Well, like I said, that hot streak it's still going. It's still going.
We have next Pittsburgh at Carolina.
Fuck.
I'm afraid to say because you always go the same as me.
I'll go Carolina.
I was actually going to go Pittsburgh. We have Dallas at Jacksonville. Dallas.
Them boys.
We have Kansas City at... Why are we even...
What the...
Why is this even a game? Kansas City at Houston. It's KC.
KC, just put all your third and fourth string. Put the practice squad out there.
We have Arizona at Denver.
I'll give that one to Arizona.
Yep. You may not be playing, but Russell Wilson, fuck you. We have the Patriots at the Raiders. Give me the Raiders.
I'll go New England.
We have Tennessee Titans at the Chargers.
I'm still believing in the Chargers, so I'm going with the Chargers. I am
as well.
Tennessee's not showing me anything, especially if you're going to be a one-man show with Henry.
All right, we have the Bengals at the Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay, you've been disappointing me here these last few weeks. I gotta go.
I can't go with Tom Brady. Go with Cincinnati. Go with the high end.
I'm actually gonna probably for the second time this season take Tom Brady off my fantasy starting quarterback and go with Kirk Cousins.
Might as well just drop him at this point.
I know I might.
This is a key matchup. Playoff implications on the line. We have the Giants at the Commanders. Almost said the wrong name. Washington at New York. Give me Washington.
Washington.
And for a horrible Monday Night Football game, we have the Los Angeles Rams at the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm going to go Green Bay. There's too many injuries. I don't trust Baker and everything like that. Those are our predictions. That is our show for tonight. Let us know what you guys think and everything like that. Obviously, thank you guys for tuning in. And thank you to everyone who's been viewing our... if you don't mind, if we go to our YouTube channel.
Yep.
Go ahead. Thank you, everyone, for... is it logged on to us?
It's going to probably be mine. Sure. Yep, just click there, click on... Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for...
You got to go back and click again. Their channel.
Thank you guys so much for all the views. It's been really nice. Awesome. With our trailer reviews, we have 72 views. We have 30. We have 28. Kelly's short that he did had 101. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to all these things. Expect to see more trailers, more other stuff. I don't know about you, but I will be seeing Avatar Way of the Water come out on Friday. I will not see it in 3D. It actually hurts my eyes, something like that. So we'll not do that. But you'll see a review. I may do a short myself, kind of a preview and everything like that. I don't know when you're planning on seeing it. So if not, we'll probably do maybe just a review where I review the movie and everything like that. So Thank you guys. Always like, subscribe, and share these videos. Share everything. Share our channel, everything like that with everybody. Cal, you got anything?
Nope. Just thank you guys all very much for the support, for the views, the likes. I'd like to see a bit more comments from you guys if you could, please. I'd like to hear back from you guys. Like I said, anything, any feedback, whether it's good or bad, we'd like to hear it.
Yep. Obviously, again, this is our. We're still very early on. I think we've only been up for a month or so. But we appreciate you guys for always tuning in and everything like that. Keep.
Actually, it's only been about 10 days.
Really?
Wait,
It's been longer than that because we have so many. We have.
actually, go to the live.
3 weeks ago.
So yeah, almost a month.
About a month or so.
Yeah.
And again, we will talk about this, but we'll do some gaming. With now, I got a PS5, and we both have Switches now and everything like that.
Yep.
So, expect to see.
Yeah, he got the good gifts this year.
Hey,
you got the nerd up.
Hey, shut up! What I get you? What I get you?
You got me something very good that I'm very excited for here next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully yes, we can get some more stuff. We're both very pre-work heavy right now as it's holidays coming up, trying to get all that done. So we have some time off and before any weather hits. So if you don't see anything for a while, that would probably be why. But we will do our best, even if we put up something short. So
hey, and maybe expect. We have a couple we have some Kraken games that we are hopefully going to attend. I will be at the Seahawks game, so we may do some shorts or some clips of that on our YouTube channel for you guys to view and everything like that.
That's a good thing. Like, yeah, let's if you can try to do a short video of you at the
Hawks game,
and I'll try to do one or we'll both try to do one at the Kraken game. We're both going to try to go. I'm definitely going. He's going to try to go. You'll know tomorrow, but otherwise we'll have something there.
Yep. Thank you guys. Let us know give us some ideas and like that. Like, subscribe, and everything like that. Like we always talk about, punch that notification bell when our videos come out, especially our live shows. Thank you guys, and BFD Army, love you, appreciate you, and as always,
thank you guys all very much. We will see you guys